Good evening, everybody. We're back here, Farming Simulator 15, Gelvin Valley. Thanks for stopping by to have a visit. Here it's, what time is it? At 21. I guess that'd be almost 9:30 at night. We are in the middle of planting some trees. But before we do that, I gotta show you guys this. This maybe is from personal life, but I want you to see it. Look at that. We have a neighbor that lives on our street who works for a blueberry farmer, and he's done this a couple years now. These berries just look gorgeous. Um, he's done this several years now, where each fall or whenever, not fall, I guess late summer, whenever they start harvesting them, he brings us a crate of berries, and these disappear very rapidly. I don't know if they were machine picked. I suspect they may have been. Some of them are a little banged up, but not all of them. And some here, you see they're a little off color. But this particular variety is my favorite, hands down, when it comes to eating blueberries. It's called Calypso. I don't know if that's a very popular variety worldwide or if anybody listening to this recognizes that name. But these are some awesome blueberries. I had a couple other pictures of them here. I'll see if I can get to them. That's a little bit more of a close up, just straight out of the field, fresh, and just lovely to bite into. These here, I mean, I took this 1/3 picture here to show kind of size. It used to be, this is a dime, American dime, 10 cents. It used to be that if you had a blueberry as big as a dime, that was massive. That was a good sized blueberry, at least to me. But some of these are basically take up the footprint of a quarter. And a quarter, 25 cents, is, I don't know if there's an America listening to this, what is it at? About an inch across, maybe? Something like that. I mean, so these are some big, big berries. Not all of them in here that size, but a lot of them, an enormous percentage of them are larger than what you typically would expect. A lot of times, the blueberries that we have in this area with some other varieties, I mean, they're smaller, much smaller than a dime. And what's interesting about these is sometimes, when you get the larger size, maybe it dilutes some of the flavor or isn't as good. And this variety here, I think it's the best of both worlds. I think maybe the taste of them and the sweetness or whatever is going to vary maybe by growing season a little bit. But these are not only big berries, they just have big flavor too. I just love them. They're just good for sitting down and going through way too many. And yeah, some people's innards are able to handle them better than others. But just wanted to share that with you before we get into tonight's episode. Good old blueberries. I love this time of year. Get planting here so we can get this show on the road. Let me see. Oh, nope. All right, we're planting. Come on, put it in the ground. Look at that. It's sticking in for what's... Oh, there's this... Well, maybe it's remembering where it was. I don't know. I don't understand how this thing works. But I was able to figure out, if anybody saw the last episode, why or what caused my speed to be impacted. As it turns out, it was the drive control mod. Look at that. Sometimes you put it down, it plunks a tree in. You'll see it's both at 100% down there. The one on the right is a gear limiter. The one on the left is a gas limiter. And, I'm not familiar enough with a drive control mod or with modern day engines or mechanics to even fully understand just what they were trying to achieve in this mod for that. Maybe it was to limit speed as to how quickly you could run your tractor or whatever. Oh, I can't put this down. Yeah, planted it way back in there. But for whatever reason, if I, and I'm not going to remember this, you know what, this is going to happen again, but it's the shift key, left shift, and the up and down arrows that fixed it. If that takes care of the one on the left, and the left shift plus the right and left keys impact the gear limiter on the right. Go figure. You know, I think when it comes to using the drive control mod, there's really only, and I realize we're all different. I've noticed some guys on YouTube or some other players, they use the shuttle control heavily. I'm just not used to shuttle control, so I don't use it for that. I just tend to get confused. I guess in my simple brain, when I press the up arrow, I expect it to go straight ahead. When I press the down arrow, I expect it to come straight back. So that's kind of how it works in my simple little brain. But I know some of y'all like that. But really, for drive control, the only thing I really want it to do is to have a brake that I can lock and have differential locks and four-wheel drive. I think that is pretty well it. Alright. I think that's all I need. You know what? I still don't trust this. I've put... What did I put in here? 2? Yeah, that was my second one, right? And I think in that other area I also put 3. So I think I'm going to head up there. I'm going to buy at least one more. And... let me get my hazards on. Before I finish planting. That way I have 120 trees in the other area, and then I'll have 120 kind of over here. So it'll be 2 forests that I can come in and harvest. All on these handy-dandy placeable areas. So I was glad to figure that out. There's probably a way in the... Oh my goodness. Terrible driving. I don't know if Reefy 1952 will ever hear this one, but I heard him in one of his episodes here the other night. He was this on an Old Rich episode? Maybe it was Churn, I don't recall. He was just commenting about his driving, kind of apologetically, and saying he had himself a whiskey sitting right next to him, and he promised that the whiskey would help the driving get even better before the night was over. So, alas, I don't have any whiskey here with me. Don't really drink the stuff anyhow. So, his driving is better than mine already, even with the whiskey. So, oh, like, stay on the road. Come on, turn, turn, turn. Yeah, I think the lack of a weight. Maybe if I lower... No, then that... Yeah, I don't want to lower it. That will limit my speed. But the lack of a weight on front really does impact it. I guess that's one area where Giants has the physics impact in there somewhat right. You know, kind of starting this off, I showed a picture of those blueberries, you know, which is common to have this year. Actually, we have the things all summer long, which is kind of nice. Different varieties, kind of each one ripens at a slightly different time. And one of my boys, incidentally, this summer works for a custom harvester, if you will, of blueberries, kind of in the local area. I think that's all he does. He spends all fall and winter, whoa, fixing his machines. Can you talk and drive at the same time? And then in the summer, over just a few week period, that's when he generates most of his revenue harvesting for these blueberry farmers, taking care of that part for him. Maybe there's something else he does. Haven't really asked him. So it's kind of nice to have that. And nice that someone is willing to employ my son. This is my younger... quit kissing the bridge or those signs. There's no need to touch them. It's nice that someone's willing to give teenagers a chance. I think I've commented on that in here before. I wish every kid from little on up could learn how to work. I know years and years ago, there's stories of, kids being taken advantage of and child labor. I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about learning how to work, period. It doesn't hurt anybody once you reach a certain age to learn how to work and to learn how to appreciate it. And, at his age of, what is he now, 13, 14? That's definitely old enough to learn how to put in some good work. So thankful there's a place he can go. Oh yeah, I need to buy another one before I can. One more. Spruce, sure, why not? And it's gonna throw me in this thing over here. I really need to pop open the app and see what's doing that. Boom, got it. Head back over. And the thing of it is, by the way, where my son works, it isn't just him. His whole crew is comprised of young people. Basically the same age. And I think he has, 3 machines that pick these berries? Pretty cool machines. We almost one time had opportunity to take on a client at our CPA, our accounting office at manufacturers. Still the road. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'll just blame it on the front weight. I gotta blame it on something. I do have a license to drive, but one wouldn't think so with all my weaving around the road. Maybe I do need some whiskey. Anyway, we almost had a client that manufactures blueberry picking machines and caneberries. Caneberries would be like blackberries or raspberries, those other types of fruit berries that grow on, with post and wire, but they have canes, that need to be trained. And these machines pick those too. Well, they make the machines that do. I don't think it's the same machine, but it's similar in concept. Maybe one day we'll pick them up, but I remember as part of, seeing whether we could take them on as a client, before you take anybody on, you always want to make sure it's somebody you can service and that it's a good fit. So we went out to their plant and got a tour of it and saw a lot of these machines. They're really cool machines and just really creative engineering, to do that. But I'll say one area, it's one thing to have a combine going in game, which we're all used to. Somewhere in here, and I don't know if it came as early as Farm Sim 15. I know I saw it in 17, where you started seeing grape pickers, if you will, and basically they were a combine, and they functioned similar to a combine. And modders, I think, the model looked right, but there's probably a lot of functionality that could have been built in if someone could script it in. It's kind of similar to cotton pickers, with Farm Sim 15. We just didn't have that many options. There was a few in there. Maybe even it was back in 13. But you had to script them carefully. I actually have a couple of them that I have on for this other map. And one of them I had to do a bunch of Lua work, Actually, both of them I had to do some, just to get it to work right in game and not to behave like one of the combines. And I know, let's see, you get into 19, I don't think the stock game had it yet. But once you get to 22, I think now they have grape picking equipment in there, which is pretty cool. And maybe there's some other things too. Like I say, I haven't done much in 22. Maybe there's even more available. So they're slowly but surely adding extra functionality. Maybe one day they'll have berries in there to where you could pick blueberries or plant and pick blueberries or caneberries or something. Get turned around here and get all set. I could probably put another pallet in here if I really wanted to, but I think I'll just stick with this. And you know what? I'm still above 2,000 in cash. That's pretty good. Oops. Wrong one. There we go. Oops. Let me turn off my stuff here. Stick it in the field. So here locally, there's a lot of berries grown, you know, in the area where I live, and it's not uncommon to see them in the field. Um, Actually, for the blueberries, they tend to pick, I think, during the day. Um, and this is a crew of kids that this guy had. Maybe that was part of the consideration. I'm pretty sure they could do it in the night if they wanted to. I think once you get above a certain temperature, they no longer pick. Maybe it's even 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know what that is in Celsius. It's pretty warm, so they can go. But I know the caneberries, I'm pretty sure they have to pick those at night. You know, anybody that's handled a blackberry or raspberry, you know it requires a little more delicate handling. Blueberries are a little bit tougher, so I think you can get away with harvesting them in the middle of the day. But middle of the night for those other berries where there's a little bit of dew out, the temperature is cooler, and you know there's still some jostling, those berries are falling, so they still end up getting banged up a certain amount. Did I not plant anything on that strip? Oh good, okay. I'm kind of just yakking and hardly paying attention here to... Gotta tend to business. Back up here and keep this going. I'm kind of glad I got these trees. I'm going to have to come check on them periodically. I just have a feeling that as soon as this tips over midnight in here, that everything's going to be ready to harvest again. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out if I make everybody suffer through another harvest season, which is something everybody saw ad nauseum the first go around. Let's see, 8 trees left. We'll be done. Maybe even with this row, would that be enough to finish this off? It's gonna be close. Not quite. Yeah, I don't think I could have put another pallet in here, at least not the way I'm spacing them. It almost looks like this area is a little bigger than the other one, but maybe it's just my imagination. Come on, plant those. One more. Boom. Done. More damage to this poor tractor. Oh, I'm sure I'm hitting seedlings. They're whacking the tractor on the way out. What do? Maybe I'll just take this back to the farm and it's maybe a little bit early, but maybe I should close the episode down so I can fast forward. And maybe instead of hardcore fast forwarding, I should do it in little bits over the night, watching the price of wheat to see if it goes back up as the night goes, and then see if it'll allow me to do some night deliveries. Maybe it won't let me do that, I don't know. Just a little cheese that the price went down right as I was trying to sell it. Isn't that the way it always seems to happen? How when you go to take your crop in to get receive the fruit of your labor, whoever's buying all of a sudden isn't so anxious to buy much of it anymore, and they jack the price down on you. I think I've heard of some farmers in real life kind of complaining about that same dynamic. Yes, that's the law of supply and demand. Oh, I didn't even have my blinkers or indicators on. I gotta say on my screen, I'm having trouble seeing where I'm going. So it's a good thing I've been down this road a time or two. How many hours did I get this thing for? I think I rented it for 4 hours. I still have plenty near 3 hours left. Maybe I should plant more trees. But, I don't know. We'll give this a go. Actually, let me nose in here and get some fuel in this guy. Alright. Let me turn this back. Go into the garage. There it be. Done. Now, I am still over 2 grand. Okay, so actually, you know what? Let me check the price. Price is wheat is this is even worse than before. Good gracious. Well, since the next thing I may get to do is likely to involve this trailer over here, I can at least go back to it and hook it up and get ready to haul grain. If the price of wheat turns around, maybe what I need right now is a special demand. Those never seem to come around when you want them either. When they do come around, it's at the most inconvenient of times, like, I don't know, you don't even have what they want. That seems to be the thing that happens to me most of the time. Or you just got to unselling everything that they wanted. There must be some twisted algorithm in the game or something that says, how can we tickle the people that play and get them to grow? Well, that's probably one way to do it. So I hope I'm sounding much more like a real farmer by complaining, you know, because, well, I know a lot of farmers, and a lot of them are pretty good complainers. Which is interesting because they are such hard workers, most of them, and it works so hard. But I think what it is like so many other things, it isn't easy. They would like to be able to grow something that they know how to grow and that's easy to do, and go sell it and get a price that feels comfortable so they can do it all again next year. And unfortunately, real life isn't that simple. Okay, got the course set up. Now, can I fast forward from here? No, I gotta get out. Let me just fast forward a little bit. I'm gonna get past, alright, did it change anything in here? No. Now the prices are going sideways, right? Barley is up, which is handy. And you know what I don't know is, does fast forwarding make any difference at all? I almost have a feeling, I mean, there's a couple different counters that go on in here. Some of them count on the basis of a real hour, and others will count on the basis of an in-game hour. You know, so if you speed up time, the in-game hour will change rapidly. But if there is something keeping track of real time, then I might be toast by doing this. So 173. If I can get it above 200 again, I think that's what I would like to do. So let me just see here. Get this changed. I want to see if it changes at all. Boom. All right, let's go back in here. No, no change at all. Although I see that barley was knocked down, so maybe wheat is bottoming out. No, barley, will you please stay up? I'm just kind of playing the market here. I'm telling you, I need to work on a mod to Oh, it's gonna rain. Rain coming the following morning. We'll change here. We're gonna see the sky change incidentally. So a lot of times it changes over. We don't see that happen. Boom! There we go. All of our fruit growth is happening. Yeah. Look what happened to my cash. 20 grand in the hole. I may have to sell some things whether I like it or not. Okay, barley's back on the up. Come on, wheat. I thought a lot of these grains in real life moved in concert with one another, generally speaking. I think it came up $1. Big whoop. That isn't enough. But look at the sky. Milky Way. I would so love to see that in real life. I was just talking to Atomic 67 today. He's a photographer as well as a YouTuber. I don't know how much photography he does, but yeah, there's the exact center of the dome up there. You can kind of almost see him a little bit, a circle up there. The way they put these pictures together, it's still pretty cool. I don't know that you'd ever see this in real life quite this way, but I've always enjoyed like those YouTube videos where you can watch the sunrise, sunset, or see the whole thing and see the Milky Way. Maybe it takes a particular type of camera for exposure. So I know when I made the Sky Swap mod, I found some of these pictures. I think it was on a government website. Their telescope that they just had hanging out there for free that were of the type that would wrap around a dome, kind of like the skybox dome that is used in game. And I found several of them that had the Milky Way or just some awesome star scenes. I don't think at night you would ever see it quite this way, but I really enjoy having this in here as a sky, even though we don't spend that much time at night. Let me fast forward a little bit more. Oh, okay, I tipped over the hour. Oh, now barley's flat. Come on, wheat, you're in the gutter. Oh, while I'm in here, maybe what I can do. Oh, that's wrong way. Let me see. You know what? Didn't I write down these prices here the other day? They have moved. This is a couple episodes ago. Seeds were 60 cents. Fertilizer was at 30. Fuel was at 70. So we know the seeds move a little bit. Maybe fertilizer and fuel are a little bit more stable, or maybe they don't move at all. It'll be interesting to look if I can find the algorithms of the game, because maybe there can be some variability put on some of these in here. Like I wonder if straw and grass and hay, I wonder if these even budge. Yeah, maybe they don't. But anyway, I got distracted. What I was wanting to look at was this here. Yeah, look at that. See all of our fields, they're all ready to be harvested. How do you like that? Just overnight, it sprung out of the ground. Like I say, we are on fast growth mode. I think we are still fast. Yep. So there should have been several times we would see growth stages in the fields, but we didn't get to see them because I have that other mod in that makes it so those only happen at night. So, all right, now let's see here. Say a watched pot never boils. So maybe what I'm looking for here with hark! Wheat is on the way up. Look at that. Now I know at some point I need to get into harvest. Barley is flat. What I just don't know is, and when you're playing on hard mode, I know that that messes with the prices in here. If you're playing on easy mode, these would be much higher. But what I don't know is variability. And frankly, if anybody knows the answer to this, I'd be curious to know what's the highest price if you play in hard mode that you've ever seen for wheat or barley or canola or whatever, and the lowest. There must be some algorithm in there that makes these go up and down, and I don't think they let us see the Lua coding for it, so we can't really tell. But would be interesting to know upper and lower bounds, and maybe there aren't any, I don't know, but I'm assuming that wheat would never be pushed to zero. I mean, that would kind of be dastardly if it pushed it below zero. But what do I know? Here a year or two ago, I was shocked. I try to follow some commodity markets. Wheat's going down again. Wow. What a roller coaster. What a roller coaster. All right, let me just try this again just for kicks and giggles. Get past 4 a.m. Slow her down. Come on, wheat. Yeah, wheat's going up. Look at barley too. Fantastic. All right, another hour. Look at that. That's starting to get light. This has been a long night of worry. Oh, now we're flat, but still it's 175. Maybe I'll go another hour. Get to 6 a.m. I think I need to start harvesting here shortly. I think I do. Wheat is going up. Well, maybe maybe I just need to remember to take a peek at it periodically, even as I start harvesting. And maybe once it reaches a certain point, I just flat out need to quit harvesting and go sell some wheat. I don't know if I'm being hurt by having a negative cash balance. My wealth, underwater, bank balance. Let me see here. Edit loan. Overdraft period is 2 days. Overdraft interest. I wonder if I'm paying 10% on that negative number up there. What I don't know is if that 10% is more than the profit I'm seeking by trying to wait for the price to increase above 200. And it may be. I'd have to run some maths to know. So, well, and maybe the overdraft. And I just don't know the terminology here. It all depends on who made this mod. I don't know if the overdraft refers to my negative cash balance or if it refers to the loan. The life of the loan was 7 days, and I think, yeah, see, I'm a day over. 8 days. Periodically, it pings me with a message, telling me that I need to repay the loan. I don't know what they do. It'd be pretty interesting if the bank tried to seize assets. I mean, shoot, it knows which fields I own. In some ways, that'd be kind of funny if they built that in, and you either pay up within a certain time period, or we're going to start foreclosing on your assets. And as people may realize, when a foreclosure happens, if it's a fire sale, you never get out of your assets what you would get if you tried to do an arm's length sale. So who knows what this does, but anyway, we'll get out of the bank. I think I'm going to leave it there. We have a little bit of harvesting, then some weather's going to happen. We got some rain coming, so we won't even be able to do a lot of harvesting. But, oh, and there's our trusty sheep. Maybe that can be the picture for this episode. Good old sheep following us around. What a good feller. Thank you all for joining me and putting up with my drivel. Appreciate having you along for the ride. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.